Welcome, friends. Have you ever felt like there's something missing in life? Like you're constantly chasing happiness, only for it to slip through your fingers? Today, we're going to explore one of the most profound secrets of existence, an ancient truth that's been quietly guiding humanity for over 2,500 years. This isn't just about history or religion. It's about you, your life, and the universal struggles we all share. Imagine a path that could help you understand why we suffer and, even more importantly, how to break free from that suffering. This isn't a quick fix or a fleeting promise of happiness. It's a timeless teaching, a map that points directly to the peace we're all searching for. It's the Buddhist secret, a secret hidden in plain sight, yet often misunderstood. For centuries, people have looked to the Buddha's teachings not to escape life, but to understand it deeply. He didn't offer us dogma or blind faith. He offered clarity, a way to see ourselves and the world with open eyes. What if we told you that this ancient wisdom could unlock the answers you've been searching for? What if today you could take the first step toward a life of true freedom, free from the endless cycle of dissatisfaction? So let's embark on this journey together. Set aside everything you think you know and open your mind to a truth that transcends time, culture, and belief. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this secret has the power to transform not just your life, but the very way you see the world. Let's uncover the Buddhist secret. The first step to unlocking this profound secret is to face a truth we often shy away from: suffering. It's a word that carries weight, isn't it? It's uncomfortable to think about, let alone confront. But here's the thing. Buddha didn't teach us about suffering to make us feel hopeless or burdened. No, he wanted us to see life clearly, without the filters of denial or distraction. Suffering is not a punishment or a flaw in life. It's simply a reality we all experience. And once we understand it, we can begin to rise above it. Think about your own life for a moment. How often have you believed that something, anything, could make you feel complete? A new car, a dream job, a perfect relationship. In those moments, you might feel a surge of excitement, a fleeting sense of joy. But then, days or weeks later, that satisfaction begins to fade. The car becomes just a car. The job starts feeling like work. The relationship, while meaningful, doesn't fill the void entirely. You start searching again, chasing the next thing, and the cycle continues. This isn't meant to discourage you. It's meant to wake you up. The Buddha's teachings remind us that the problem isn't in wanting happiness. It's in misunderstanding where true happiness comes from. We try to fix the symptoms of our dissatisfaction with temporary pleasures, but the root cause remains untouched. And that's the real secret. The path to peace and contentment isn't about adding more to your life. It's about deeply understanding why we feel the way we do. That's where the journey truly begins. Buddha revealed a profound truth about suffering by breaking it down into 3 distinct forms, each one a reflection of the human experience. The first is the most familiar: physical and emotional pain. This is the kind of suffering we all know deeply. It's the ache of illness, the sharp sting of heartbreak, the grief of losing someone you love. It's raw and undeniable, a part of life we can't escape, no matter how much we try to avoid it. The second form of suffering is subtler, but equally inevitable: the suffering caused by change. Think about it. No matter how perfect a moment may feel, no matter how much joy something brings us, it doesn't last. That brand new car you were so excited to own will eventually fade, rust, or become just another object in your life. The thrill of a major accomplishment begins to dull as time goes on. Even beauty, no matter how radiant, is not immune to the effects of time. Change is the only constant, and with it comes the bittersweet realization that nothing stays the same forever. But it's the third form of suffering that cuts the deepest: the suffering of attachment. This is the discomfort that comes from clinging to things, people, or circumstances that require endless effort to maintain. Imagine trying to hold together a delicate house of cards in a gusty windstorm. The more we cling, the more fragile everything feels, and the more exhausted we become. We pour so much energy into holding on, fearing that if we let go, we'll lose everything that makes us happy. These forms of suffering are not here to crush our spirits. Buddha didn't share these truths to discourage us. Instead, they serve as a mirror, reflecting how life truly works. By understanding these layers of suffering, we can begin to see the patterns in our lives, the way we chase, cling, and struggle against the inevitable. And through this understanding, we can begin the journey toward liberation, toward a peace that isn't dependent on the ever-changing world around us. This isn't a lesson in despair, it's a lesson in freedom. Let's take a moment to go deeper. If suffering is the problem, then what is its root cause? According to the Buddha, the answer lies in something so simple yet so powerful: craving. This craving is the relentless cycle of wanting, the endless chase for something more pleasure, more success, or simply a way to escape the things we dislike. It's this constant yearning, this restless longing, that keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Buddha identified 3 types of craving, each one pulling us in its own direction. The first is the craving for sensory pleasures. This is the desire for things that make us feel good: delicious food, beautiful sights, soothing music, or even the thrill of a new experience. We indulge in these things, thinking they will bring us lasting happiness. And for a moment, they might. But soon, that satisfaction fades, and we find ourselves wanting more, caught in a loop that never ends. The second is the craving for existence. This is the deep-seated desire to be someone, to achieve, to be recognized, or to possess. It's the voice inside us that whispers, "If only I were rich, successful, or famous, then I'd be happy." For some, it's even the desire to live forever, to cling to life itself, fearing what lies beyond. Yet, no matter how much we achieve or accumulate, it's never enough. The craving grows, and so does our suffering. The third, and perhaps the most complex, is the craving for non-existence. This is the desperate wish to avoid pain, to escape uncomfortable realities, or to make things disappear altogether. It's the feeling of wanting to erase failure, avoid rejection, or silence the parts of life we don't want to face. Ironically, in trying so hard to avoid suffering, we create even more of it. These cravings act like chains, binding us to a cycle of dissatisfaction. They pull us in different directions, making us believe that happiness lies just beyond the next desire. But here's the secret that Buddha revealed. Once you understand the cause, you have the power to break free. Recognizing how craving works doesn't just open your eyes, it gives you the tools to step off the wheel of endless wanting and move toward true liberation. And that's where the journey to peace truly begins. Now this is where things get truly exciting. The Buddha didn't just teach us about the nature of suffering, he taught us that it's possible to end it entirely. Imagine, for a moment, what it would feel like to live without the constant pull of craving, the weight of fear, or the chains of attachment. Imagine a life where your happiness doesn't depend on external circumstances, where you feel at peace no matter what life throws your way. That state of being is called Nirvana. But let's clear something up right away. When you hear the word Nirvana, you might picture some mystical paradise or a far-off realm reserved for the enlightened. That's not what Nirvana is. Nirvana isn't a place you go to after you die, and it's not some exclusive experience for monks or spiritual gurus. Nirvana is a state of mind, a state of being. It's the ultimate freedom from greed, anger, and ignorance, the 3 poisons that keep us trapped in suffering. Think of Nirvana as perfect clarity. It's like wiping away the fog that clouds your vision and finally seeing life as it truly is. It's a state of deep inner peace, where you're no longer chasing after fleeting pleasures or running from discomfort. It's not about escaping life, but about living fully, free from the illusions and cravings that once controlled you. And here's the incredible part. Nirvana isn't just for those who dedicate their lives to spiritual practice. It's not reserved for a chosen few. This secret, this freedom, is available to anyone who's willing to take the journey. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what your past looks like. The path to Nirvana is open to all. The Buddha taught that by understanding the causes of our suffering and following the path he outlined, we can move closer to this state of liberation. It's not an instant transformation. It's a journey, one step at a time. But every step brings you closer to a life of true peace and clarity. Nirvana isn't some distant dream. It's a real possibility, waiting for you to discover it. And that's the beauty of this Buddhist secret. It's not about becoming something else. It's about uncovering the freedom and peace that's already within you. So, how do we reach this state of ultimate freedom? How do we break free from the cycles of suffering and dissatisfaction? The answer lies in the Noble Eightfold Path, a brilliant roadmap designed by the Buddha to guide us toward liberation. It's not a rigid set of rules or a one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, it's a flexible guide, one that can adapt to the unique circumstances of your life. It's a path of transformation, leading you step by step toward a life of clarity, peace, and purpose. The journey begins with right view. This is about seeing life as it truly is, free from illusions. It's understanding the nature of impermanence, the interconnectedness of all things, and the reality of suffering. When you see clearly, you're no longer controlled by false expectations or blind desires. Next is right intention, the step that aligns your thoughts with compassion and wisdom. It's about choosing intentions that reflect kindness, love, and the desire to let go of harmful cravings. Imagine the difference it makes when your actions flow from a place of understanding and care, rather than fear or greed. Then comes right speech. Words have incredible power. They can heal or hurt, connect or divide. Right speech teaches us to speak truthfully and kindly, to avoid gossip, lies, or words that cause harm. It's about using our voice to uplift and bring peace, rather than sow discord. Right action follows, urging us to live ethically. This means refraining from harming others, stealing, or engaging in behaviors that cause suffering. It's not just about avoiding harm. It's about actively choosing actions that reflect love, respect, and integrity. Right livelihood is about how we earn our living. It challenges us to consider whether our work supports or harms others. Imagine the impact of choosing a path where your livelihood contributes to the well-being of others, rather than exploiting or hurting them. Then there's right effort. This is the energy we put into life, the effort to cultivate goodness and let go of negativity. It's the quiet determination to replace harmful habits with wholesome ones, to persevere even when the journey feels challenging. Right mindfulness is about presence. It's being fully aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present moment. It's not judgmental, it's observant. When you practice mindfulness, you create space to respond to life thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Finally, we arrive at right concentration. This is the practice of focusing your mind, often through meditation. It's about developing the ability to center your thoughts, calm your mind, and connect with a deep inner stillness. This isn't just about sitting cross-legged on a cushion. It's about cultivating focus and clarity in everything you do. These 8 steps aren't abstract concepts. They're practical, actionable, and accessible to everyone. They're not just a set of instructions. They're a way of living. The Noble Eightfold Path isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Each step brings you closer to freedom, closer to a life unburdened by suffering. It's the Buddha's secret to liberation, and it's a path that anyone can walk. Are you ready to take your first step? Everything begins with right view. This is the foundation of the entire path, the lens through which we start to see life as it truly is, not as we wish it to be. It's about stripping away illusions, the false beliefs and expectations that cloud our judgment and lead to unnecessary suffering. Right view invites us to look at the world with clarity, to understand its impermanence, interconnectedness, and the natural ebb and flow of life. Think about this. Everything in our lives, whether it's joy or sorrow, success or failure, is like a wave. It rises, reaches its peak, and then eventually falls away. This is the nature of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. No moment, no possession, no emotion. At first, this might seem like a bleak realization. But let's look deeper. What if, instead of clinging to the wave or fearing its end, we learned to ride it with grace? To appreciate each crest for what it is, knowing it's fleeting, yet beautiful in its transience. When we embrace impermanence, life doesn't become meaningless. It becomes precious. Every moment, every connection, every experience takes on a new significance because we understand its temporary nature. Imagine how this perspective could change the way we live. Instead of resenting change, we could welcome it as part of life's rhythm. Instead of taking things for granted, we could cherish them fully while they're here. Right view also teaches us to see the interconnectedness of all things. No event, no action exists in isolation. Everything is part of a greater web of causes and effects. When we understand this, it transforms the way we approach challenges, relationships, and even our own thoughts. We see the bigger picture, and that helps us let go of the small, fleeting frustrations that often consume us. This isn't just philosophy, it's a practical shift in perspective. Right view isn't about denying reality or escaping it. It's about meeting it head-on, with open eyes and an open heart. It's about embracing life's changes with wisdom, accepting its ups and downs with grace, and finding peace not in controlling the waves, but in learning to flow with them. This is the starting point of the Buddhist secret, the first step toward true freedom. Once we begin to see the world clearly through right view, the next step is to align our inner world, our thoughts and intentions, with that understanding. This step is called right intention, and it's about planting the seeds of kindness, generosity, and compassion in our minds, while letting go of harmful and destructive desires. Take a moment to reflect on how much of our mental energy is consumed by negative thoughts. Jealousy, resentment, anger, craving. These emotions don't just appear out of nowhere. They take root in our minds and grow, shaping the way we see the world and the way we respond to it. Think of a time when you were caught in a spiral of jealousy. Maybe it was over someone else's success, beauty, or possessions. Did it make you feel better, or did it leave you feeling empty, frustrated, and disconnected? Buddha taught that our thoughts are like the soil of our minds. What we choose to nurture will eventually flourish. If we continually feed thoughts of anger, greed, or envy, they will dominate our inner world. But if we consciously cultivate intentions rooted in love, compassion, and selflessness, these positive forces will begin to transform not only our minds, but also our lives. Right intention is about making this conscious choice. It's about choosing to approach life with an open heart. Imagine replacing envy with joy for someone else's success. Picture letting go of resentment and instead finding forgiveness. Consider how your life could change if, instead of craving more for yourself, you focused on giving to others. These are not abstract ideals. They are daily choices we can make. Right intention doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring negative thoughts when they arise. It means recognizing them for what they are and choosing not to let them define us. When a harmful thought surfaces, pause for a moment, acknowledge it, understand its roots, and then gently redirect your focus towards something positive. It's a practice of training the mind to align with the values of kindness, generosity, and wisdom. Over time, this shift in intention reshapes the way we experience life. Our interactions with others become more meaningful. Our inner world becomes calmer and more harmonious. Right intention is like setting the compass of our minds toward peace and fulfillment. It's the next essential step on the path to uncovering the Buddhist secret, a step that brings us closer to the freedom and clarity we all seek. Words are one of the most powerful tools we possess. They have the ability to heal or harm, to connect or divide, to bring peace or stir conflict. This is why Buddha emphasized the importance of right speech. choosing to use our words wisely and with intention. It's a practice that goes far beyond simply avoiding harmful language. It's about transforming the way we communicate, both with others and with ourselves. Think about how often words shape your day. A kind word from a friend can lift your spirits, while a harsh comment can linger in your mind for hours, even days. Now imagine the ripple effect of your own words. The things you say have the power to brighten someone's world or cast a shadow over it. Right speech encourages us to speak in a way that uplifts, supports, and unites rather than tears down. This practice begins with mindfulness. Before we speak, we ask ourselves, is this true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? These simple questions act as a filter, helping us avoid lies, gossip, and divisive talk. Imagine the difference it would make if we all paused for a moment before speaking, choosing words that align with truth and compassion rather than impulse or anger. Right speech also invites us to move away from empty or frivolous words, those that serve no real purpose or bring no value to a conversation. Instead, it encourages us to speak with purpose, to say things that matter, and to listen just as much as we speak. True communication isn't just about talking, it's about connecting, understanding, and building relationships based on trust and respect. Picture a world where people only spoke words that brought understanding and unity. No more hurtful comments. No more gossip that destroys reputations. No more lies that erode trust. This is the world that right speech envisions. It's a world where communication is a force for good, where every word spoken carries the intention to heal, to help, and to connect. Practicing right speech isn't always easy. It requires self-awareness and a commitment to break old habits. But the rewards are profound. As we become more mindful of our words, we'll notice how our relationships improve, how conflicts diminish, and how our inner world becomes more peaceful. Right speech is not just about what we say to others. It's about the kind of energy we bring into the world. And when we align our words with truth, kindness, and purpose, we unlock one more piece of the Buddhist secret to living a life of harmony and meaning. Our actions are the building blocks of our lives. Every choice we make, no matter how small, contributes to the person we become and the world we create around us. This is why Buddha emphasized the principle of right action, living ethically, with integrity and compassion. It's not just about what we do, it's about why and how we do it. Right action challenges us to make decisions that reflect our highest values, decisions that cause no harm and bring peace to ourselves and others. Right action begins with simple yet profound guidelines. Avoid causing harm to any living being, refrain from taking what isn't freely given, and resist the pull of harmful indulgences. These aren't rigid rules meant to restrict us. They're practices that create a foundation of respect and harmony. Imagine a life where your actions bring no pain or suffering to others, where every step you take aligns with kindness and integrity. That is the essence of right action. But it doesn't stop there. Our actions extend beyond our personal lives into the ways we contribute to society. This is where right livelihood comes in. It asks us to consider not just how we live, but how we earn our living. Are we engaging in work that supports the well-being of others, or are we contributing to harm, even unintentionally? Right. Livelihood encourages us to align our careers with our values, to choose paths that uplift rather than exploit. Think about the impact of this. Imagine a world where businesses prioritize the health of people and the planet over profit. A world where every job, no matter how big or small, serves the greater good. This doesn't mean we all have to become activists or work for charities. It simply means making conscious choices, whether that's choosing an ethical company to work for, avoiding industries that harm others, or finding ways to bring compassion and integrity into whatever job you do. Living according to right action and right livelihood isn't always easy. It requires awareness and the courage to make choices that might not always be convenient or profitable in the short term. But the rewards go far deeper than material success. When our external actions reflect our internal values, we create a life of authenticity, and peace. We inspire those around us and contribute to a world that feels a little kinder, a little fairer, and a little more aligned with the Buddhist secret of living in harmony with ourselves and others. This alignment between our actions, values, and the well-being of all beings is the heart of right action and right livelihood. It's about transforming not just how we live, but how we work, how we give, and how we show up in the world. And when we do, we find that living ethically isn't a burden, it's a source of profound freedom and joy. The final steps of the Noble Eightfold Path guide us towards sustaining a life of clarity, balance, and peace. These steps, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, are about nurturing the inner strength to stay true to the path. They help us remain focused and steady, even when life feels chaotic or overwhelming. Let's start with right effort. This is the energy we bring to every moment of our lives. It's about putting our effort into positive, wholesome actions while letting go of negativity. Right effort means being intentional with where we direct our energy. Are we feeding anger, jealousy, or fear? Or are we cultivating patience, kindness, and understanding? It's not about perfection, but progress. Every small step toward positivity adds up, just as every harmful action pulls us further from peace. Right effort reminds us that transformation doesn't happen by chance. It happens through steady, conscious work. Next is right mindfulness, one of the most powerful practices on the path. Right. Mindfulness teaches us to be fully present, aware of our thoughts, emotions, and actions without judgment. It's about observing the mind with curiosity and clarity, noticing the patterns that arise, and understanding where they lead us. This practice isn't about controlling our thoughts, but about becoming aware of them. When we're mindful, we're able to respond to life with intention, rather than reacting out of habit. Imagine how different life could feel if you were fully present in every moment, truly experiencing each breath, each interaction, and each decision with a calm and focused mind. Finally, there's right concentration. This step invites us to focus our minds deeply, often through meditation. It's about developing the ability to center our thoughts, quiet the noise of the world, and connect with the stillness within. Meditation isn't just about sitting in silence. It's a practice of training the mind to stay steady and clear, even when life feels uncertain. Right concentration helps us access a profound inner peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's a space where clarity and calm coexist, allowing us to see life as it truly is. Together, these three steps, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration, form the foundation of a life rooted in peace and clarity. They remind us that the path to liberation isn't about escaping life, but engaging with it fully, with wisdom and compassion. By sustaining these practices, we cultivate a mind that is steady and a heart that is open. These final steps of the path don't just lead us closer to freedom, they help us create a life of joy, purpose, and deep connection with ourselves and the world around us. This is the essence of the Buddhist secret, the profound realization that peace begins within and radiates outward into everything we do. The true essence of the Buddhist secret isn't just in learning these teachings, it's in living them. The Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path aren't just abstract ideas or ancient philosophies. They are practical tools designed to help us navigate the complexities of life and find lasting peace. But knowing them isn't enough. Their power lies in practice, in weaving them into the fabric of your daily life. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Transformation begins with small, intentional steps. Take a moment each day to practice mindfulness, just a few minutes of being fully present, aware of your breath, your thoughts, and the sensations around you. It's in those small, quiet moments that we begin to understand ourselves better and connect more deeply with the world. Try speaking a kind word to someone, even when it's easier to stay silent. Notice how it not only uplifts the other person, but also brings a sense of warmth and connection to your own heart. Reflect on the impermanence of life, not as a source of fear, but as a reminder to cherish the moments you have, to live fully and love deeply while everything is here. Each of these steps may seem small, but together they are profound. They shift the way you see the world, the way you interact with others, and the way you respond to challenges. Every act of mindfulness, every kind word, every intentional moment brings you closer to the peace and happiness that the Buddha spoke of. These teachings aren't about escaping life's struggles. They're about finding freedom within them. The secret to ending suffering isn't something external. It's already within you. It's in the way you think, speak, and act. It's in the choices you make and the effort you put into living with awareness and compassion. The path to liberation has been here all along, waiting for you to take the first step. And as you do, you'll begin to uncover the peace that's always been a part of you, hidden beneath the layers of distraction and craving. So start small, stay consistent, and trust in the journey. The Buddha's wisdom isn't a distant dream or an unattainable ideal. It's a living practice, one that has the power to transform your life and lead you to the freedom and joy you've always sought. The secret is within you. Are you ready to uncover it?